Well, welcome, 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 everybody. We are live here today, and I'm super excited because on a lovely Saturday here in August, welcome to our page. We have some great ladies here to have a really interesting conversation. And it's always nice to get different perspectives. You know, if you've been following our pages for a little while, you probably know that we're all involved in an online business, and it's been amazing for me for sure. But I like to get different perspectives as well. So today I have Amy, Lisa Marie, and Judy here with me, and they all have very different backgrounds, very different stories. So why don't we kick it off, Amy, with you, and just share a little bit about your background, where you're from, and why you were looking for something different at this chapter in your life.
Well, I'm Amy. Thanks, Anne. I'm Amy. I'm from Beaumont, Ontario, and I'm a mother of two daughters and proud nana of four grandchildren. And I was, excuse me, I was in the communication industry for 13 years. Then all of a sudden, unfortunately, I got laid off. No notice, no nothing, on my birthday, of course. So that wasn't a good thing to happen at that time. And then I had to find myself without no work, got back into the industry of automotive, found myself laid off again a year later. Then I needed to find something for another income stream because I wasn't prepared for retirement. I didn't have everything set up. I didn't know what I was going to do. And I came across this online business, and it was the best decision I could ever have made for my future going forward.
Wow. It's a story that so many people face, isn't it? Being laid off. It's really crazy to see what's happening. And every time you tell me that you're a nana of four, I'm always like, holy smokes, you look so young. So somehow life has been agreeing with you, which I love. But you know what? Here's another thing. The older we get, we all look super young now, don't we? And that's my philosophy. Judy, what about you? Tell us a bit about your background and why you were looking. You have a really interesting background.
Hi, Ann. I'm Judy. I live near in Dover Center. It's near Mitchell's Bay, Ontario. And I too have five kids and eight grandkids, family. But I came from two different backgrounds. So I was a hairdresser first for about 20 years, and then I got into truck driving. So I've been truck driving for 25 years. So gone all the time, never home, like out of the country gone. So I thought, well, it is time to, I just want to be home. So I went looking for an online business, digital business, something that I could be home more, have some more family time and quit missing out on everything. So
Yeah,
yeah,
amazing, amazing. I know you and your husband do long haul trucking together, and
yeah,
we have a few long haul trucker women in our business, and yeah, I can't imagine it. It must take a toll. You've been doing it for a long time, so
it's
that's really,
exhausting.
yeah, really, really interesting. And Lisa Marie, what about you? Tell us a bit about your background.
Hey everyone, I'm Lisa Marie from Ontario, Canada, and I am a very busy mom of three young kids, 10 and under. So life gets busy. I come from a background in education as a teacher here in our Ontario school boards, and I just got to the point after 20 plus years where I was just exhausted, overworked. I felt like I was working in the day and then continuing that work again at night. I felt like I was missing out on a lot of moments with my family because I no longer really had ownership of my time. So eventually I just made the decision to step away from that career and choose me and my family.
Wow, that's great. And I know there's a lot of moms out there who have young families who really want to have more of that time. So many of us work, 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 and we take care of a lot of others, but we don't take care of ourselves and our families as much as we'd like to. So now I'm so curious. You were all looking for something, and you found this business, and many people have a few doubts, a few fears, a few uncertainties. I don't know if any of you had doubt or fear, and how you overcame that to actually get started. For me, I had no doubt at all. I knew this was exactly what I was looking for, but I know that's not the experience for everyone. So Amy, how was the experience for you? Did you have doubts or fears about getting started? And if you did, how did you overcome those to start?
I did actually have some doubts and fears. Of course, I did work with the telecommunications industry, having that as my background, but not actually having the experience to actually start an online business. And I know you didn't have to have any of the technical aspects of it. For myself, I just decided that dive in. You don't need the experience. You don't need the technology. You just need to plug in and willing to learn and grow. And that's what I did.
Okay, I love that. So you were worried that you didn't have the experience in building an online business. Most people don't even know what that would look like, but you decided to trust the training and just dive in. Good for you.
Yes.
Good for you. And Judy, what about you? Did you have any doubts or fears or worries, or did you just know right away it was for you?
Not right away. Looked into a few different things, into affiliate marketing and, the digital marketing, and they all say it's for beginners, but halfway in, you're like, I don't know what I'm doing, and there's nobody there to help. So, yeah, I wanted to find something totally legitimate, There's so many scams or whatever out there. So, yeah, there was those fears of that and not knowing anything about that industry, then, yeah. But then I watched Anne for about a month. I stalked her, followed her. And I started to trust her. That was the main thing. I started to trust everything she was saying. I thought, well, if I'm going to do this, jump in with both feet and do it. So
wow, I love that.
Thank you, Anne.
I'm so glad that you did. And that's why we do interviews and sessions like this, and we show up on our pages, because it is a leap of faith. It's trust. And I've heard from so many women who have tried different things, and they were promised support and different things, and then they started and there was nothing, and they were on their own.
Nothing.
Yeah, nobody really wants to build a business on their own, right? And figure it all out, especially at a certain age. You want the help, you want the support, you want the structure. So I'm so glad you took the plunge, Judy, and you trusted me and you trusted the process. And what about you, Lisa Marie? You were ready for a change. Did you have any doubts or fears, or did you feel confident right from the get-go?
Absolutely not. I completely felt fear and worry. So I'm type A, and I always need to know what's going to happen ahead of time. And this was, even though it sounded like an amazing opportunity, my personality still kind of took over and said, well, what if I don't excel? What if I don't succeed at it? What if I'm not good at it? Like, coming from a background in education, I'm strong at that. But then that fear took in, and it stuck with me for a while, to be honest. It stuck with me for a while because I thought that maybe I would fail at it. I was watching a few other people online excel at it. And then I kept saying to my husband and having a conversation, like, what if I'm not good at it? What if it doesn't work? What if it's a mistake? And then I remember one day when we were talking, he said, so then it's a mistake. And it was just so simple. When he said that, I was just like, okay, so then if it's a mistake, but if I don't try, I'm going to have that guilt of not attempting an opportunity that could possibly change my life. So that's when I took some quiet time to think about what I really wanted in my life, what wasn't working and what I wanted to work. And I took that leap. It was during the quiet time and that response from my husband when he said, so what? So what if it's a mistake? And it wasn't. So I'm glad I took that leap.
Yeah. Oh my gosh, I really love that. I think that, one of the things we like to say is that if this business is sitting with you, you can't really get it out of your head. You keep watching, you keep thinking, oh, they're still doing it. What about me? Then that's kind of a sign that it's calling you, it's tugging at you. And it sounds like everyone had a bit of that in their experience. It's so interesting. And I'm going to switch this question around a little because you all had some doubts and fears. You all, decided to go ahead anyways. What was the thing that surprised you the most once you were actually on the inside? What surprised you the most, or what did you like the most that you maybe weren't expecting? And Lisa Marie, I'm going to start with you this time.
So what I like the most is the safe environment. So when we have groups and coaching is provided and mentorship, there's always someone to ask questions to guide you through the process, through the learning journey. There's certain groups that you can even join within the platform, and it allows you to build your skills, build your professional development. I love that stuff. I thrive on that. And it gives you a safe place with other business owners who you're working with to practice your skills, to get out of your comfort zone, to learn your leadership pieces in a safe, small accountability group, so that by the time you're ready to launch, you've already had plenty of time to practice. So those pieces in this business are quite phenomenal.
Good. I love that. And especially for you, because I know you like to have things buttoned down. So you have an environment where you can actually feel very confident because you've practiced and you've seen. And so I really love that. And Judy, what about you? What have you liked the most or maybe surprised you the most once you actually got started?
It went right from the very first coaching call. I seen you online, and immediately when I made the coaching call, I was talking to you. I was actually pretty impressed by that, to actually meet somebody that you actually seen on Facebook. So it would, and that was the whole thing, because of my previous experience of trying something and nobody was there to help. Just to have this whole community of people to talk to was just amazing. It's like, wow, there is help here. And I
Yeah.
really needed that because I'm not techie.
Oh, I love that.
Yeah.
And that's one of the reasons that I think we do love to talk to people if we can, because yeah, it's good to talk to a real person. It's good to have real support, and that's one of the things I love best about this community as well. So I'm so glad that felt so good for you too, Judy. And
Yeah.
Amy, what about you? When you finally dove in and you overcame your fears, you decided to take the plunge. What surprised you the most, or what did you like the most that maybe you weren't expecting?
Oh, with the community support and having everybody cheering you on, even if it's little wins, knowing the fact that if you needed some help, you can reach out and get the help that you needed. For myself, I was skeptical. As soon as I took the coaching call on with Chris and Karen, I just went, oh, you're actually real? This is amazing. Being able to actually see the same thing as you, Judy, that they're actually real people. It's not AI. It's not all fake and all of that. So for myself, I'm glad that I plunged in, said yes. And I'm surprising myself how much I'm stepping out of my comfort zone and doing exactly things that I didn't think I could do, and surprise myself that I have all the abilities to be able to succeed in this business.
I love that. I think that's what a lot of people do actually end up. They realize that they're so much more capable and they're creative and they get stretched. And I'm doing a ton of things I've never done in my life. And it's actually pretty fun to be learning and growing. So I'm going to ask, because, a lot of people, when they think they're starting a new chapter, they're thinking, oh my gosh, I don't want to start over. I've already done so much in my life. So what were you able to bring from your all the things you've done in your life? What kind of skills and experience from your past life were you able to bring and apply to this business so that you didn't actually have to start from scratch? So Judy, I'm going to start with you.
Like I said, in the past, I was a hairdresser, so I own two different hair shops. And it's a totally different business, but business is business. So when you learn that you have to invest in yourself and time and money and whatever, you have to build something, no matter what it is. You have to build it from scratch. And I guess that's the strength that I draw from, is that I had to build my hairdressing businesses from nothing, buy the equipment, set up the store. And that's kind of the same thing as this. And that's the strength I drew from, and have the patience to let it build as well.
Yeah,
Yeah.
I love what you're saying, because and not everyone has been a business owner before, and you've been a traditional business owner, and the thing is, a business owner has to show up for their business. You have to actually build it, give it time. It takes time. You probably invested quite a bit into those shops, and it took time to pay all of that back. It takes quite a while to break even in a traditional business. So I love that you already knew about business, about owning, your results by showing up, and patience. And I think that's great. And I know that you're actually doing this business still on the side of your long haul trucking. So, you're building something that will be there for the long term while you're still earning income. So that's a beautiful thing as well. Yeah, I love that. And Amy, what were you able to bring from your past life that has really been applicable to this business?
Well, what I brought from the past was my worth ethic, of course, determination. I have years experience with customer service, being able to serve customers, help them solve their problems, And for myself, I didn't have the experience for building an online business. I'd never been a traditional business owner, but I find myself that I have the abilities and strengths to be able to show up every day knowing that I have to be consistent to build this business for it to be successful. So with all my years of experience, I find that I brought it in with the online business to be able to build a business for myself and show up for myself and be accountable for myself, because nobody else is going to do it for you. You have to do it yourself.
Yeah, absolutely. And that's so interesting because you've worked in the kind of traditional corporate world and you have a lot of customer service background. And you know what, anyone who's worked traditionally, the skill and experience you have is showing up every day. Because guess what? If you don't show up and you don't perform well, you don't get paid. And you know, now we're just showing up in a different way. We're showing up every day and we're performing well for ourselves. And I think that anyone who's worked in the traditional world, who has succeeded in that traditional employment world, well, that's a skill that you bring right there to this business, showing up every day and striving to perform well. And so I love that. That's fantastic. And what about you, Lisa Marie? What were you able to bring from your past life experience into this business?
So the transferable skills that I used quite a lot in the career working in a school board is the importance of just building relationships with people and building connections. Like that is a through line, I think, with any business. So coming from education and then moving into the online business, it's the same thing that's applicable. It's about building trust, building connections, making relationships, getting and making that intentional space to really understand who we're working with so that I can identify their needs and then help guide them in the direction that they need to go to solve the problems that they want to solve, right? So I think that is probably those two skills that apply deeply, because it's about meeting someone where they're at. Whether I'm leading a school and running with teachers and developing them, everyone's sitting at a different level of knowledge, understanding, experience. So meeting them where they're at and then moving them forward and building that relationship to do that is the same thing in this business. Understanding who the people are, where do they need to go with their trajectory and goals, and then meet them where they're at and then give them that guidance moving forward.
Yeah, that is really, really interesting because you're right. You know, everyone comes into this business at a different stage. Some people have, you know, very little technical skills, for example, or maybe they've never really done any personal development work, or maybe they've never used social media. And so the way that they will want to move forward will be to grow in some of the areas that they need to, and everyone is different. So it's very, very true. And understanding where someone is at when you meet them, being able to help and guide them to the right resources that we have, of course, in our community is a really fantastic skill. So I really love that. And we're going to finish off with just a question. You know, there are people who will watch this interview, whether it's now, thanks for watching us live, for those of you who are with us, and people that will watch it later. And these might be people who are thinking, oh gosh, do I have to start over? I'm not sure if I can do this. I don't know. What would you say to that woman who is watching this right now and who's thinking about looking more closely at our online business, but might just have a few worries? Amy, what would you say to that woman?
Well, what I would say is that it's never too late to start over, no matter what age you are. And just have confidence in yourself that if you're looking for something different in another income stream, or even having more time and flexibility, it's never too late to start over. If you're interested in something like that to change your life, don't hesitate. Just look into it and find out more. If it's fit for you, it is. If not, then that's okay too. There's no pressure.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah, I love that. And Judy, what about you? What would you say? What would you say to that woman who's watching, who maybe has a few doubts and fears? What would you say to her?
I think that's just something personal you have to push yourself past, is the doubts, because everybody has them. My first true doubt was to find something legitimate, which this totally is. And and the mentorship and everything that comes with it is just amazing. I guess you just have to push yourself to take that first step, to just jump in and say, okay, I'm going to look into it, because there's nothing to it really. It's
Yeah.
just those fears in the back of our heads that stop us from doing everything. But I'm glad I did it. I'm really
Yeah.
glad.
You're
Yeah.
right. And it's just taking that first step. The first step doesn't have to
Yeah.
be scary. The first step is just asking for information. The second step is doing a deeper dive. The third step is actually starting. So, you can take those baby steps and it doesn't have to be scary. But yes, usually the result is that people are really, really happy and excited that they've actually taken that time. Lisa Marie, what would you say to the person who's watching, who's a little worried, a little concerned, has some doubts? What would you tell them?
I would remind her that she is absolutely capable of more than she believes. So just to build that belief system within herself, because we all come to the table with a different narrative and a different story, but that story that we all have is loaded with experience, and that's what's going to carry you into whatever opportunity you step into next. Our brains tend to tell us when we're stepping into something unknown, don't do it. It tells us that it's a risk, and that's where the fear comes in. So knowing that the first initial step for this online business is simply just learning. You're just exploring and you're just learning. So to overcome that fear and pull back from what our brain is telling us, don't go there, it's stress, it's unknown, it's a risk. Take your story, use your skills, know that that's your experience, and step past that. Because the quote that I have in my office downstairs, and the quote that I pretty much live by, is that everything you want in life is on the other side of fear. So once you get to that little step over, everything you want in life is on the other side of fear. And I would just remind her that she can do it.
I love that. And that is a beautiful way to end our session today. And here's what I will tell you. You've heard from these amazing women. And if you're watching this interview on their page, just reach out to them, send them a message and say, hey, I would love to explore. Remember, there's no risk in exploring, no risk at all. So reach out to the person that you're watching this interview, reach out to the person whose page you're watching, ask them for information, and we would be more than happy to share information with you, see if it's a fit for you. But if you're like the rest of us and like so many thousands more of us, this could be the best thing that you will ever do. So thank you so much for being here. We appreciate you, Lisa Marie, Judy, Amy. Oh my gosh, what a great, powerful session. You guys are rock stars. And we will see you all next time. All right. Have a wonderful rest of your weekend. Bye-bye.
Bye.
Thank you.
Bye.
Thank you. Bye-bye.